All right, welcome back everybody. We're jumping into a different type of video right now as requested by some of my viewers. I'm going to try to make this short and sweet, just give you some tips on augments. That's going to be the topic here. If you want more videos like this, please drop a comment below. Tell me what you want to see. I'll try to do it. I might even do like a PowerPoint. I've done those in other videos. We're going to try to make this very quick and very painless. I got some tips here that I've learned from people far better than myself. I've learned over my many years of playing TFT. I've played all the sets. Key points that I want to get to here are locking in too early, too much of one resource, not considering your portal, not considering your current items, not considering your spot, and this is a very solid template you can use. You're always going to see this in a lot of these meta guides. It's going to be down here. Once I learned this, I immediately improved my gameplay when I am trying to play serious. Yeah, so econ, items, combat. You definitely want to try to get one of each if you can. Obviously play around your portal as well. This is a very good template to have, and what depending on the comp you're playing is going to mix up. I'm really surprised with combat reroll. They're saying items here. Like usually with a one cost reroll, you pretty much always have like Mundo. I would guarantee this is gonna be items, right? Yeah, items. They're wanting you to prioritize your items. That's very interesting in Kog'Maw. I guess because you need to get to a late game board as well for all your vanguards to be out. Okay, so going back to our tips here, we're gonna try to make this really quick, and I'll show you some augments as well, right? So locking in too early. Good example of that, we can go here. So this is on the same page, comps, items, augments. We're gonna go to augments here. Let's go to silver. This is like a template. You can go here and see your S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier. Don't come in here and not pick these because they're C tier. Like people are very into the copy paste meta of playing TFT. This is all situational. This could be an S tier in the right hands, right? You just have to know like what your spot is, what you're playing around, and then this is like ideally if you have no direction, these are all good things. Scoped weapons is very specific to certain comps, but let's go to gold here, right? We're thinking about locking in too early. This is I think the biggest mistake I've had to learn, and I've seen other people that make this mistake. So it's like 2-1, you're getting your first augment, you got a couple units, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna play this, like I'm gonna hard force this augment right now. We're gonna go anima. And you locked in and you didn't scout. You're just like, I'm having a bad couple games. I've like, some units here I want to play anima. And you're not thinking of like scouting other people, right? You just locked in, you're going to hard force. There's like augments that like one is if your spot's not very good, someone will kill like if you didn't scout and someone has like a 2-star Seraphine, a Silas, and an Alawi, and you only have like 2 anima units, you grab an emblem. You're already in a bad spot. You don't have the units yet. This person's going to obviously beat you early game. And they haven't picked their album yet, and maybe like they're waiting and they have support spire, right? Well, now they have like a good push on your comp that you didn't have. You just have an emblem, whereas they actually have something that's going to give them inherited value. So when you're scouting early, I always like to scout, especially when I'm trying to pick a situational augment like flatline, slamming. Well, slamming doesn't matter, but board directors, freestyling, all these things are very situational. Emblems as well. I'll wait to see if someone's picking an emblem. There's always gonna be a couple people that are like down to the last second to pick their augment, and it's normally because they're holding something like this that's very situational and they want to see if anyone else is playing it, or they're AFK. They could just be AFK, but chances are they have like support spire, flatline, freestyle, board directions, and emblem, and they're wanting to make sure everyone else picks their choices before they hard commit to something, because they don't want to be contested or they don't want you to pick. They're just waiting to see, right? So sometimes we go down to the last 3 seconds. And you'll see someone quickly pick flatline. You had that as an option as well. You're like, okay, someone picked flatline, they have a good spot for it, good items. You quickly pick something else because you don't want to be contested. That's why people wait so long to pick their augments. Definitely scout early. Some people just don't care and they'll hard force something at the gate. They'll just pick whatever. And you're like, okay, they have this. We're fine. We're going to take this, right? Too much of one resource. That's going back to our template. Like in set, I think it was 11. You could do like triple econ, get to like stage 10 or level 10, sorry. And just blow out the lobby with all the 5 costs. The way the 5 costs worked back then, they were just like so overpowered together. That's like we're long from that. So you don't want to like have too much of one thing. Econ's not always gold. It can be like rerolls. What's it like the heroic grab bag, like where you get those 2 like duplicators. I think it's heroic grab bag. Might be wrong on that. Things like that, you definitely want to make sure you don't have too much of one thing, because then you don't have the late game strength tied all together. You just have too much of like econ in one way or another. Like you get a slamming, you also pick roll grab bag, and then you also have like a last game was like invested. You have way too much resources with not enough items and combat strength, right? That could be very bad to your gameplay. So try to I can't stress enough. I very, very suggest you follow like a template like this, Econ's item combat. It's going to improve your gameplay substantially, and obviously, if you're very lost, use a builder like this, or watch professional players. Watch professional player. Hopefully, they explain it. Lots of them don't, but watch them pick things and try to understand why they'd pick it, and then be like, okay, that's really cool. They picked this. It set up this. A went to B, B went to C, and C went to late game, and they kind of knew all this ahead of time because they're professionals. I never thought of it like this. I didn't think if I take this, I can move into that. Watch what people are doing. It'll definitely help out your gameplay. Now, considering your portal, yeah, you like if you have like loot subscription stuff like that, and you're playing this. So we go back to any reroll, and you're on loot subscription, or I think it's like gold subscription where you get a bunch of gold every stage, like that TF one. You don't necessarily need to start off with an econ augment, or not. Sorry, that's Alistair right here. You don't necessarily need to start off with an econ. You're gonna get tons of econ. Maybe you want to start building out your items first. So you get a good item for like first augment. Like, okay, we're gonna start getting some items because we're gonna be guaranteed to be getting splash gold in this game. We just need to start tempoing now so we can get that late game board. Lots of people will open their board and they'll play like a lost spree into this. I really don't recommend for a lot of people to play lost spree comps. Like if you're really new to the game, especially, it's so hard to catch up later if you don't know how to like manipulate your late game and just get to the best board you can possibly get. So consider your portal as well. Like if you're playing gold subscription, like what's gold portal? Is it gold subscription where you like everyone gets gold augments? You definitely don't want to play something comp that really spikes with a lot of prismatic augments like this. Normally it's like kind of think of like a reroll comp, something that's gonna be able to play around these here, right? This is like your list. If you're playing the portal that gives you all gold augments, don't be trying to play around something that's like needs a lot of prismatic augments, or is best played from a prismatic augment spot. Like if you're trying to do Shaco reroll, your best chance is to go for something like this. This can make Shaco an absolute beast. You can get a good Shaco game in this, but just keep in mind of what your portal is, and then try to build around that. I think that's very considerate, very self-explanatory for people that are far better than myself, but for the people that are around my level or lower, definitely just try to consider these things. Consider your current items. That's huge. Like if you get dropped a belt, an armor, and a cloak, and you're trying to lock in amp, like you keep going this as an example because it's S tier right now, you're gonna have a bad time. If you get dropped 2 tiers and a rod, okay, and then you get like a Yumi and stuff like that, okay, I have a good start to try to play amp. Maybe I try to go for this. Also depends on your portal. Like, are you going to be getting like loot subscription? We can get a bunch of items we can take in, things like that. Take your augments around what you're playing on and what you're trying to build towards, and most importantly, your items. Don't force something when your items make 0 sense for it. I see people do this so much, and I've also done it. It's just terrible. Not considering your spot. Big thing here to talk about is I see people that are like 8th and they got like 20 HP and they already have Anima 7 out, and then they pick up an Anima emblem and they're already broke. They're level 7 because they've like econ really poorly. What are you gonna do with that Anima emblem? Maybe you save up or maybe you swap out a certain unit and you can get rid of like your vein and bring in somebody else if you're really lucky. It's not going to make much sense. You're going to maybe sub out one trait to get another synergy. Like you're going to bring in a Jin instead of a Vayne and get your marksman. Like there's no real spot where you'd want to take an Anima emblem as your last augment if you're in last place and you don't have any money and you're not going to get a Renekton or somebody that's going to use that really well. Instead, try to get like a combat augment or maybe some more gold, something to like help you kind of spike your board really quick because you're about to go out, right? And the same thing is like starting the game off. Like you're in stage 1, you're selling all these good units, you're trying to hard force something, and going back to the anime example, like you have like a Seraphine and a Silas, and you're like, okay, well, I've lost so many games where I'm just going to hard play anime because I got an emblem, and then you scout and you see somebody with support Spire, and they already have a Seraphine 2-starred, an Alawi, and a Silas. They're not going to be pivoting. You didn't have the units. Like you didn't really have the spot for it. They had the better spot for it. You probably should have scouted before locking your emblem. That goes back to this thing here. So yeah, once again, to recap, template, always consider trying to keep one of each. This is strongly recommended. And like I said, it pivots from comp to comp. Here it's going to be econ items combat. Try to keep that in mind. use these tips here that I've learned from other people and just from general gameplay experience, and hopefully this helps to improve your placements. Just try to think ahead, guys. And early game, definitely be scouting, trying to shoot yourself in the foot there, figuratively speaking. Yeah, hopefully this helps some people. These are things I consider when I'm picking my augments. I could go into way more depth video, but I didn't want to drag this on and have people lose too much attention. So if you enjoy this kind of stuff or you want more videos, more in depth, more things on econ, positioning, things like that, let me know. I can try to help you out. I will do research for the ones I'm uncertain of or the ones I'm not as experienced in. If you guys want me to do that and bring that information to you, drop that in the comment below. Hopefully this helps some people out when making their decisions. And if not, well, hopefully you enjoy my content, the other videos I make, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.